is the first festival of the year. Yes. It's very, very significant because Advaita Acharya is not an ordinary person, is an incarnation of Mahavishnu. He was very instrumental in bringing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to this material world. See? So Advaita Acharya is actually Mahavishnu, you know. So here this verse is explaining Lord Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya. Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita, and because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and the incarnation of the Lord's devotee, therefore I take shelter of him. So you see the position of Advaita Acharya is not in any way different from Krishna. He is a non-different. Yeah, he is an incarnation of the Lord. Sometimes he is also addressed as Sadashiva. So this is his unique position, being non-different from the Lord, and primarily he was the, you know, thus respectable personalities such as his father, mother, and spiritual master all take birth on the earth first. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Before he came, he sent his father, mother, spiritual master, all take birth on the earth first. Madhavendra Puri, Ishwara Puri, Srimati, Sachimata, and Srila Jagannath Mishra all appeared with Advaita Acharya. In fact, Madhavendra Puri, he is the guru of Advaita Acharya. You know who's Madhavendra Puri, right? He is the spiritual master of Ishwara Puri, who is the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? Actually, when Advaita Acharya was 50 years old, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. And he stayed for 50 years, for 100 years. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, and he stayed again for another 50 years. So he was 150 years old. You know? Advaita Acharya having appeared, he found that the world devoid of devotional service to Krishna, Sri Krishna, because people were engrossed in material affairs. Everyone was engaged in material enjoyment, whether sinfully or virtuously. No one was interested in the transcendental service of the Lord, which can give total relief from the repetition of birth and death. Advaita Acharya saw the entire world to be engaged in activities of material piety and impiety without a trace of devotional service or Krishna consciousness anywhere. The fact is that in the material world there is no scarcity of anything except Krishna consciousness. Material necessities are supplied by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. We sometimes feel scarcity because of our mismanagement. But the real problem is that people are out of touch with Krishna consciousness. Everyone is engaged in material sense gratification, but people have no plan for making an ultimate solution to their real problem, namely birth, disease, old age, and death. These four material miseries are called bhavaroga or material diseases. They can be cured only by Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Krishna consciousness is the greatest benediction for human society. Seeing the activities of the world, the Acharya felt compassion and began to ponder how he could act for the people's benefit. This sort of serious interest in the welfare of the public makes one a bona fide Acharya. An Acharya does not exploit his followers. Since the Acharya is a confidential servitor of the Lord, his heart is always full of compassion for humanity in its suffering. He knows that all suffering is due to the absence of devotional service to the Lord, and therefore he always tries to find ways to change people's activities, making them favorable for the attainment of devotion. That is the qualification of an Acharya. Although Sri Advaita Prabhu himself was powerful enough to do the work as a submissive servitor, he thought that without the personal appearance of the Lord, no one could improve the fallen condition of the society. In the grim clutches of Maya, the first class prisoners of this material world wrongly think themselves happy because they are rich, powerful, resourceful, and so on. These foolish creatures do not know that they are nothing but play dolls in the hands of material nature, and that at any moment material nature's pitiless intrigues can crush to dust all their plans of godless activity. Such foolish prisoners cannot see that however they improve their position by artificial means, the calamities of repeated birth, death, disease, and old age are always beyond the jurisdiction of their control. Foolish as they are, they neglect these major problems of life and busy themselves with false things that cannot help them solve their real problems. They know that they do not want to suffer death or the pangs of disease and old age, but under the influence of illusory energy, they are grossly negligent and therefore do nothing to solve the problem. This is called Maya. People in the grip of Maya are thrown into the oblivion of the death, and as a result of their karma in the next life, they become dogs and God or gods. Although most of them become dogs, to become gods in the next life, they must engage in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, otherwise, they are sure to become dogs or hawks in terms of laws of nature. The third class prisoners, being less materially opulent, endeavor to imitate them, for they also have no information of the real nature of their imprisonment. Thus, they also are misled by the illusory material nature. The function of the Acharya, however, is to change the activities of both the first class and third class prisoners for their real benefit. This endeavor makes him a very dear devotee of the Lord, who says clearly in the Bhagavad Gita that no one in human society is dearer to him than a devotee who constantly engages in his service by finding ways to preach the message of Godhead for the real benefit of the world. The so-called acharyas of the Kali Yuga are more concerned with exploiting the resources of their followers than mitigating their miseries. But Sri Advaita Acharya was an ideal Acharya, was concerned with improving the conditions of the world situation. So you see the position. An Acharya means that he should find means and ways to solve the problem of the material world. Not that he becomes a guru and he exploits the disciple, which is going on in rampant scale right now, even in our so-called ISKCON. Advaita Acharya thought, if Sri Krishna were to appear as an incarnation, he himself could preach devotion by his personal example. In this age of Kali, there is no religion other than the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. But how in this age will the Lord appear as an incarnation? I shall worship Krishna in a purified state of mind. I shall constantly petition him in humbleness. My name Advaita will be befitting if I am able to induce Krishna to inaugurate the movement of chanting of the holy name. You see how without Advaita Acharya, I don't think you and I would be chanting Hare Krishna today. He is the prime mover. Uh, the non-dualist Mayavadi philosophers who falsely believe that he is non-different from the Lord is unable to call him like Advaita Prabhu. Advaita Prabhu is non-different from the Lord, yet in his relationship with the Lord, he does not merge with him but eternally renders service to him as a plenary portion. This is inconceivable for Mayavadis because they think in terms of mundane sense perception and therefore think that non-dualism necessitates losing one's separate identity. It is clear from this verse, however, that Advaita Acharya, although retaining his separate identity, is non-different from the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached the philosophy of inconceivable, simultaneously oneness with the Lord and different, Achinta Veda, Abheda Tattva. From him, inconceivable dualism and monism, a conception of the imperfect senses, which are unable to reach the transcendence. Because the transcendence beyond the conception limited potency, the actions of Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, however, give tangible proof of inconceivable non-dualism. One who therefore surrenders to Sri Advaita Prabhu can easily follow the philosophy of inconceivable simultaneity, dualism and monism. So you see how the role of Advaita Acharya is not eh, some person in the our just because it's very, very instrumental. Without him, you cannot go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See? While you were thinking about how to propitiate Krishna by worship, the following verse came to his mind. So you see how he was thinking how to bring the Lord down. So this verse came, a very important verse. Tulsi dala matrena jalasya chulukena va vikrinnite swayamatmanam bhaktebhyo bhaktavatsalaha. Sri Krishna is very affectionate towards his devotees, sells himself a devotee who offers him merely a tulsi leaf and a palmful of water. You see the position of the Lord, how he sells himself to anyone who offers him what? A tulsi leaf and this word here, you see this word. Chulukena means like this. Water in your palm. Chulukena. And tulsi matra. Tulsi leaf. So you see how very significant our whole program is Tulasi. So without Tulasi, the Lord will not accept our whatever we give. So this verse is coming from Gautamya Tantra. So he thought about this verse and immediately he took some Ganga water and Tulasi leaf and he was loudly crying. He says here, Advaita Acharya considered the meaning of this verse in this way, not finding any way to repay the debt he owes to one who offers him a tulsi leaf and water. Lord Krishna thinks, there is no wealth in my possession that is equal to a tulsi leaf and water. See how much Krishna is surrendered to. So Advaita Acharya took advantage of that and with that he was calling for the Lord. See? Thus the Lord liquidates the debt by offering himself to the devotee. Considering in this way, the Acharya began worshipping the Lord. Through devotional service, one can easily please Lord Krishna with the leaf of the tulsi plant and little water. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, a leaf, flower, fruit or some water, patram, pushpam, palam, toyam. When offered with devotion, very much pleases him. He universally accepts the service of his devotees. Even the poorest of devotees, many parts of the world, can secure a small flower, fruit or leaf and little water. And if this offerings, especially tulsi leaves and Ganges water offered to Krishna with devotion, is very satisfied. It is said that Krishna is so much pleased by such devotional service that he offers himself to his devotee in exchange for it. Srila Advaita Acharya knew this fact and therefore he decided to call for personality of Godhead Krishna to descend by worshipping the Lord with tulsi leaves and the water of the Ganges. Thinking of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, he constantly offered tulsi buds in the water from the Ganges. He appealed to Sri Krishna with a loud calls and thus made it possible for Krishna to appear. Actually, there's a verse, it says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was, you know, he heard the loud calls of Advaita Acharya and therefore decided to descend. See? Therefore, the principal reason for Sri Chaitanya's descent is the appeal of Advaita Acharya. The Lord, the protector of religion, appears by the desire of his devotee. O my Lord, you always dwell in the vision and hearing of your pure devotees. You also live in their lotus-like heart, which are purified by devotional service. O my Lord, who are glorified by exalted prayers, you show special favor to your devotees by manifesting yourself in the eternal forms in which they welcome you. This is the Srimad Bhagavatam 3:9-11. Thus I have surely determined the meaning of the fourth verse. Lord Gauranga, Lord Chaitanya appeared an incarnation to preach unalloyed love of God. So you can see here that Advaita Acharya, although he is much more superior in birth, Lord Krishna is the one master and the Lord of the universe, worthy of being served by everyone. Indeed, everyone is but a servant of his servant. The same Lord Krishna has descended the Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone, therefore, is his servant. This is spoken by Advaita Acharya. Some accept him, whereas others do not. Yet everyone is his servant. One who does not accept him, however, will be ruined by his sinful activities. This is Advaita Acharya's prayer. I am the servant of Lord Chaitanya, a servant of Lord Chaitanya. I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya and his servant of his servant. This is a prayer by. So you see the mood of Advaita Acharya, although he is the, much more older and like a father, but he considers the servant of Lord Chaitanya, a servant of Lord Chaitanya, a servant of Lord Chaitanya, servant of, 3 times repeated here. And the servant of his servant. So in regard to this incident, there's a story. I don't know how much time we have. What is that?
12. That week 12:28.
Huh?
That week 12:28.
Adi. Actually, this is a different story. Advaita Acharya did not like that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was worshipping him. So he didn't like the idea because he wanted to become a servant of the Lord. So what he did, he started preaching Mayavad. You know where that? I don't think it is in Chaitanya Bhagavad, I think, right? So he was preaching Bhagavad, this Mayavad, and that upset Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to him and beat him up. This pastime is there. And I think this story is maybe in the purport of the CC, I don't know. So there's another incident. Advaita Acharya's very confidential servant named Kamalakanta Viswas knew all the dealings of Advaita Acharya. When Kamalakanta Viswas was in Jagannath Puri, he sent a note through someone to Maharaj Pratap Rudra. No one knew of that note, but somehow or other it reached the hands of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That note established Advaita Acharya as an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But it also mentioned that Advaita Acharya had recently incurred a debt of about 300 rupees that Kamalakanta Viswas wanted to liquidate. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became unhappy upon reading the note. Although his face still shone brightly as the moon, thus smiling he spoke as follows. He had established Advaita Acharya as an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is nothing wrong in this, for he is indeed the Lord himself. But he has made the incarnation of Godhead a poverty-stricken beggar. Therefore I shall punish him in order to correct him. See this point here? God cannot become a beggar. No? Yeah, of course, this is the pastimes of Vamana Dev. That's another thing. To describe a man as incarnation of God or Narayan and at the same time present him as a poverty-stricken is contradictory. It is the greatest offense. The Mayavadi philosophers engage in missionary work of spoiling the Vedic culture by preaching that everyone is God. Describe a poverty-stricken man as Daridra Narayan or poor Narayan. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never accepts such foolish and unauthorized ideas. He strictly warned Mayavad Bhase Sunile Sarva Nash. Anyone who follows this principle of Mayavad philosophy is certainly doomed. Such a fool needs to be reformed by punishment. Although it's contradictory to say that the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his incarnation is poverty-stricken, we find in the revealed scriptures that when the Lord incarnated as Vamana, he begged some land from Maharaj Bali. Everyone knows, however, that Vamanadev was not at all a poverty-stricken. His begging from Maharaj Bali was a device to favor him. When Maharaj Bali actually gave the land, Vamanadev exhibited his all-powerful position by covering the three worlds with three steps. One should not accept the so-called Daridra Narayan as incarnation because they are completely unable to show the opulence of the genuine incarnations of God. The Lord ordered Govinda, from today on, do not allow this Bauliya, Kamalakanta Viswas, to come here. Baulas are one of the 13 unauthorized sects that pass as followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord ordered Govinda, his personal assistant, not to allow Kamalakanta Viswas to come into his presence because he had become a Bauliya. Thus, although the Baula Sampradaya, Aula Sampradaya, Sahaja Sampradaya, as well as Smarta, Jati Gosanis, Ativadi, Shudaharis, and Gauranga Nagaris claim to belong to the split section of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord actually rejected them. When Kamalakanta Viswas heard about this punishment by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very unhappy. But when Advaita Acharya heard about it, he was greatly pleased. Seeing Kamalakanta Viswas unhappy, Advaita Acharya Prabhu told him, you are greatly fortunate to have been punished by the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Formerly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always respected me as a senior, and I did not like much respect. Therefore, my mind being afflicted by unhappiness, I made a plan. Oh, this is a story here. Thus, I expounded the Yoga Vasistha, which considered liberation the ultimate goal of life. This is actually Mahabharata. For this, the Lord became angry at me and treated me with apparent disrespect. This book named Yoga Vasistha that Mayavadis greatly favor because it's full of impersonal misunderstanding regarding the Supreme Personality of Godhead with no touch of Vaishnavism. Factually, all Vaishnavas should avoid such a book. But Advaita Acharya Prabhu wanted punishment from the Lord, began to support the impersonal statements of the Yoga Vasistha. Thus Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became extremely angry at him and seemingly treated him disrespectfully. When chastised by Lord Chaitanya, I was very happy to receive a punishment similar to that awarded Sri Mukunda. Mukunda was also going out to do all this Mayavad thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not happy with him. So a similar punishment was awarded to Mother Sachi Devi, who could be more fortunate than she to receive such punishment. Mother Sachi was similarly punished as mentioned in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Mother Sachi Devi apparently showed her feminine nature, accusing Advaita Prabhu for encouraging her son to become a sannyasi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taking this accusation as an offense, asked Sachi Devi to touch the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya to mitigate the offense she had supposedly committed. Is that? After pacifying Kamalakanta Viswas in this way, Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Advaita Acharya told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I cannot understand your transcendental pastime. You have shown more favor to Kamalakanta than you generally show to me. The favor you have shown Kamalakanta is so great that even to me, you have never shown such a favor. What offense have I committed at your lotus feet so as to not be shown such favor? Hearing this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu laughed with satisfaction and immediately called Kamalakanta Viswas. Advaita Acharya then said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Oh, why have you called him back, this man, and allowed him to see you? He has cheated me in two ways." When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, his mind was satisfied. Only they could understand each other's mind. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and so another thing about Advaita Acharya is also mentioned here before I wrap up. Huh? 7? 70. 1 7. So here you see here, Advaita Acharya been glorified by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nevertheless, my mind has become purified because I have associated with Advaita Acharya, who is directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is unparalleled in his understanding of all the revealed scriptures and the devotional service of Lord Krishna. Therefore, he is called Advaita Acharya. He is such a great personality that by his mercy he can convert even the meat-eaters, malachas, to devotional service of Krishna. Who therefore can estimate the power of his Vaishnavism? It is extremely difficult to convert a malacha or meat-eater into a devotee of Lord Krishna. Therefore, anyone who can do is situated on the highest level of Vaishnavism. Can you imagine Prabhupada's position? Yeah? Understand? It's not so easy to preach to meat-eaters. So you see the position of Advaita Acharya. So, of course, there are many more pastimes inside the CC. We cannot cover all of them owing to lack of time, but guess you can read the book, huh? So, any questions on this Advaita Acharya's special position? Huh? Otherwise, we will stop here then. Thank you very much. Jaya Advaita Chandra ki. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Advaita Chandra. Jaya Advaita. Huh? What is it? Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. So please proceed, take prasadam. Where is it? Fifth floor? Fifth floor. Go to the fifth floor. Fifth floor, better. Go to the, bring all the prasadam up.